Welcome back. We're finally made it, or at least almost there. One last topic to go, and we are finished off with the star of security. Let's talk about authentication. And you might be thinking to yourself, hold on, we kind of did this already with password storage, maybe with a little bit of injection and using updated libraries and logging, HTTPS, and all these things. And you might have seen that some of these overlap. That's the case with security. When one part of the system is vulnerable, it affects other parts, and it's just the way things are. Now, authentication means making sure that the person on the other end is who they say they are. And this is done through passwords to authenticate that the user say that they are the person that has access to this account. And then afterwards, we have to manage their session. That is, to make sure that we say that, this is Tim over here that's sending me the request. Remember, on Twitter, you don't have to sign in every time you refresh. And authentication is really important because it could have really big consequences. By allowing attackers to compromise passwords, keys, session tokens, or other flaws can mean that they can impersonate other users. And here's the thing. This diagram is something that we're going to come back to because when it comes to authentication, we have an entire section dedicated to it where we go through the best practices, learning about session-based authentication and token-based authentication and how these work. But the ideas are the same. We make sure that the passwords match and that the user is who they say they are. And then afterwards, we either give them a cookie or a token to manage their session. That is, every time they make a request, we know who they are. We know that, that's Tim making a request. Let's give Tim the appropriate resources that he needs. Good authentication means implementing simple but adequate password rules that encourage users to have long, random passwords instead of silly passwords like 123. You want to use something like multi-factor authentication for your logins, like perhaps signing into Twitter also requires you to have two-factor authentication on your phone, where you have to say, yes, I am who I say I am, let me log in as well. We also learned that with cookies, you want to set HTTP only and secure headers to true. But like I said, this is a topic that I think is really important, and we have an entire section dedicated to it. But the idea is this. We need a way to make sure that whoever is on the other side, we trust, and we can trust that they say who they say they are.